Welcome back to Captain Comics, the channel where legends come alive, one panel at a time. Today, we're diving into something truly special. Spawn, The Dark Ages, Volume 2, Issue Number 1, a story that fuses myth, history, and supernatural horror into one haunting epic. And trust me, this issue doesn't just continue the saga, it reshapes it. Before we begin, remember, this isn't just a comic review, it's a full exploration. By the end of this video, you'll understand every twist, every vision, every pact, and every shadow that follows Aurelianus into the ruins of ancient Britain. Descent into the ruins. In the dying light of post-Roman Britain, a time when the old gods have not yet retreated and the new faith has not yet taken full hold, a warrior king named Aurelianus steps into a journey that threatens not only his life but the soul of his kingdom. The land is cracked and wounded by war. Superstition rules the night, and the borders of the mortal world have grown thin. In this fragile landscape, Aurelianus begins a quest that blends myth, spiritual reckoning, and political crisis into a single epic path. The story opens in 479 AD. Aurelianus leaves his war camp and travels toward the forsaken ruins of Londinium, once a proud Roman city, now reduced to overgrown stone, creeping vines, and a suffocating silence. Ghost stories cling to the streets. Locals speak of spirits that whisper in the fog, of wights wandering the alleys, and of ancient powers that claim the dead city as their own. Aurelianus is not entering this place by chance. He is guided by the prophecy and instruction of a druid elder named Diviciacus, whose cryptic words insist that Aurelianus must cross the river Tamasis alone. The crossing represents more than a physical division. It marks his passage from the world of men into the realm of spirits, a boundary where reason palters and the ancient powers hold dominion. From the moment he enters the forest surrounding Londinium, the world changes. Bones lie scattered among the roots. Crosses tilt in abandoned shrines. The air tastes of rot. Every shadow seems to carry a presence. The path narrows until it becomes less a road and more a trial. As Aurelianus walks, the forest feels as though it watches him. He is no longer a king on familiar ground. Here, he is a trespasser, judged by beings far older than his crown. Suddenly, a massive boar bursts from the undergrowth, snarling and violent. The fight is short and savage. Aurelianus kills the beast with raw strength, but the moment feels ritualistic, as if the forest itself demanded a sacrifice before letting him proceed. The blood soaking the earth seems to satisfy whatever ancient force guides the path. Aurelianus then calls upon Lord Aurelianus, the mysterious ruler of the Wild Hunt. Legends claim the Aurelian commands spectral riders who sweep across the land, carrying souls away in the night. Whether Aurelianus has come seeking wisdom, alliance, or judgment, even he may not fully know. But calling the Aurelian by name is a daring act, a challenge thrown across the boundary between worlds. Answering his summons is Danunus, the horned priestess, whose name entwines both the All-Mother and death. She stands adorned in ritual garments, her presence both comforting and unsettling. She speaks as though she has awaited Aurelianus's arrival for generations. Her words are layered with prophecy, warning, and welcome. To step forward, she says he must be remade, or at least tested. She leads him to another druidess, who offers him a steaming potion created from roots, ashes, and something older than language. Aurelianus drinks it without hesitation. His faith, his pride, and his desperation collide in a single choice. Moments later, the potion tortures him. With searing pain, he collapses, retching, his body rejecting whatever transformation the brew intended. The rejection is significant. Aurelianus cannot be reshaped by sorcery. His fate must come from his own will. These supernatural moments are interwoven with flashbacks to 478 AD, 1 year earlier. These scenes revealed the life Aurelianus once lived, not as a lone seeker in a haunted city, but as a general king leading disciplined Roman formations against Saxon invaders. The Aurelianus of the past is powerful, commanding, and surrounded by loyal soldiers. His closest companion, General Attilius, fights at his side with humor and unbroken loyalty. The two men share the camaraderie born only from surviving countless battles together. Aurelianus gives speeches steeped in Roman honor and Christian zeal, invoking divine glory and promising victory or martyrdom to his troops. His army roars in response, beating shields and shouting ancient war cries inherited from Rome's fading legions. These flashbacks reveal more than heroism. They expose the truth eating at Britain. The kingdom is failing. Saxons press in from the east. Picts raid from the north. Arabanians attack from across the sea. Supply lines falter. Soldiers grow weary. Faith wavers. The people whisper that Christ has abandoned them. Some look back to the old gods of the land, wondering if the ancient spirits might yet protect Britain.
It becomes clear why Aurelianus undertakes his perilous journey. He is not seeking glory. He seeks deliverance for himself, for his kingdom, and for a land drowning in chaos. Diplomacy with human enemies has failed. War has drained the realm. The supernatural may be the only path left.
His search leads him deeper into Londinium, where a new figure emerges from the shadows. Yulegrave, the Earl King himself, towering, horned, wrapped in furs and darkness. He appears less like a demon and more like a force of nature made flesh. His presence distorts the air, yet his eyes reveal intelligence, not mindless malice. Aurelianus does not raise his sword. Instead, he does the unexpected. He negotiates. He tells the Earl King that their enemies are the same. Britain is collapsing. Both mortal and mythic realms suffer. If they fight separately, all will fall. But together, they might create a realm strong enough to survive the storms ahead. The Earl King listens with suspicion. His history with humans is filled with betrayal. Aurelianus's ancestors imprisoned him, bound the old powers, and allied with Saxons to their doom. He asks why he should trust any king of men. Why not take the crown himself and rule Britain through fear? Aurelianus answers with a truth even the Earl King cannot ignore. Ruling Britain would entangle even an ancient spirit in endless enemies, rebellions, and obligations. A kingdom cannot be maintained through terror alone, not in this fractured land. He argues that only together, mortal and divine, can they forge peace that lasts. Before the Earl King responds, a ghostly rider gallops into the ruins. A spectral knight, armored in darkness, identifies himself as the last of the true, a champion of the old ways uncontaminated by mortal desire. He condemns the Earl King's wild hunt for bringing fear and death to the people. He accuses Aurelianus of madness for trusting a creature who has haunted Britain for generations. His presence deepens the moral tension. Even if the Earl King's alliance could save Britain, what of the terror he brings? Can a king bind himself to a being that drags mortals into the night? Can peace be forged from forces born of death? The real question forms. Is the survival of the kingdom worth the spiritual price of such an alliance? Aurelianus answers with vulnerability rather than pride. He confesses that Britain is already at the brink. The people's faith in both Christ and crown is slipping. His armies are outmatched. His resources are broken. His rule is crumbling beneath waves of invaders. He admits the sins of his ancestors and presents not just fear, but hope. A vision of a Britain where pagan and Christian stand side by side, protected not by repression, but by unity. This honesty shifts something in the Earl King. The ancient spirit sees that Aurelianus does not seek domination, but partnership. What he offers is not servitude, but comradeship. The Earl King agrees to a pact, but only under one sacred condition. The old ways must be protected. His people may return to their lands. They must be allowed to practice their beliefs without persecution. No king may outlaw the traditions that shaped the land long before Rome arrived. Aurelianus swears it. The pact is sealed through resolve, not blood. A unified future becomes possible. At dawn, Attilius arrives and sees his king standing beside the Earl King on a rocky height. The sight is shocking, yet Aurelianus greets him with warmth. He says it is time to rebuild the old bridge, a symbolic pledge to restore the bond between worlds, cultures, and faiths. But peace is never simple. In the night, a cloaked rider races through Winchester's south gate. He arrives trembling at the home of Father Kentigern, a priest known for wisdom. The rider urgently seeks a private audience. He fears not for the kingdom, but for the soul of the king. Aurelianus's pact may unite Britain politically, but spiritually, the cost could be far greater than anyone understands. The story leaves Britain poised on a knife's edge. A forbidden alliance has been forged. A warrior king has crossed into the supernatural, and the future of the realm now hangs in balance between salvation and damnation. Our nerdy thoughts. And that wraps up our full deep dive into Spawn the Dark Ages Volume 2, Issue Number 1, a tale of kings and spirits, faith and fear, and a pact that may save Britain or doom it forever. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the Earl King's spectral bell so you never miss another lore expedition from Captain Comics. Got theories about Aurelianus's pact, or predictions on where the Wild Hunt goes from here? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay sharp, stay curious, and keep reading. Captain Comics, signing off.